Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the newest series on my channel. Oh boy, am I excited for this one. This one is going to be Dark Souls Remastered, the 100% series. If you're familiar at all with me and or my channel, I tend to do 100% long, sweeping series of RPG titles, and Dark Souls, specifically, the original one, is, in my opinion, one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. I love this game. I've played it many times, including Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne. I'm just in love with this game, and I could talk about it for 20 years, and I'm not going to because people always say that my intros are way too long. So we'll get into this as quickly as possible. I just want to say that as far as a 100% series for this is going to be everything that we can possibly do in one playthrough. Some people were asking if I was going to do multiple playthroughs with New Game Plus. No. So yes, obviously we're going to have to make some choices. We're going to have to miss certain things, but that's how my playthroughs go. Just like Skyrim, just like Oblivion, sometimes you have to make choices and you have to miss out on certain things. So this is going to be a playthrough encompassing pretty much everything, trying to get every item in every area, and trying to talk to every NPC and complete all of their NPC quests, in one playthrough, and all the bosses, all the optional bosses, things like that. So we can talk about more, we can talk more about how the playthrough is going to go in the future, but for now, let's just jump in. I'm so excited to do this. I've already ran through the options just to show you guys really quick. Everything is pretty much normal as far as I can tell. Subtitles are a must in Let's Plays, of course, and then we have pretty much everything else as the default. I have the brightness turned up because my monitor is extremely dark. I'll be using an Xbox One controller, and this is on Steam, the Steam version of Dark Souls Remastered. And yeah, everything should be pretty standard. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's 100% Dark Souls Remastered. Okay, like I said, all of that stuff is good. We're going to run through character creation pretty fast. You have to actually type this out on the keyboard, which I like because it's much faster. So we're going to go with Vana, just because it kind of sounds like maybe it could come from the Dark Souls universe. We're going to go with male. We're going to go with... So the class doesn't matter too much. You'll be able to get pretty much all of this stuff anyways. So the question is, you know what? Give me some time to think over this stuff and also create my character, and I will see you guys in just a second. Okay, I actually want to talk you through this for anybody new. Don't worry, I'll go fast. I know my previous Let's Plays, everybody always says my intros are way too long. Anyways, I'm going to go with Deprived, which is kind of like the challenge starting class. It's not really too hard once you've played a lot of Dark Souls, but it is somewhat challenging because we start with basically nothing here. Unclothed Enigma, only armored with a club and old plank shield. However, if you're new to the game, I would suggest the Thief, because he starts with the Master Key, and that is going to give you a shortcut through... Basically, you don't have to go through a really challenging part of the game. So if you're new to the game, going Thief with the Master Key is good, or pretty much anything like a Knight or a Warrior, something with equipment. You can get the Master Key as a starting item as well. I tend to go with Deprived just because I like the little bit of added challenge. So we're going to go with the Deprived, and then as for Gift... There's some different stuff here. I won't go into too much of it in detail, but you don't have to pick Thief because you can also pick the Master Key here, which normally I think I do. It just makes the game a little bit easier and more open-ended. However, I think I'm going to go with Black Firebomb and try to do something with this. You can also find all of this stuff pretty much in the game itself anyways. Let's go with the Black Firebomb. Yeah, and Physique... Okay, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. The rest of it is basically just customizing my character, which now I will see you guys in a second. Okay, now I believe you can go in and customize, you know, deeper parts of the character. Right, can't you? I always get confused at this part. Yeah, customize. Yeah, this is the part that I always get confused at. You have to actually hit customize in order to customize your character further. But for the most part, I'm pretty good with this. But again, once again, I will go more in depth here, and I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, and there we are. I changed him up a bit. He looks quite silly in his current attire, but man, that happy trail is prominent, huh? There we are. There's Vana, the male deprived, starting with a black firebomb, with an average physique, a commoner face, receding hairline, and dark brown hair color. Let's do this.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers, and man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side.
That intro gives me chills every single time. It's one of my favorite video game intros ever. The dark sign brands the undead. I'm not sure why it's... I thought it plays the sound here, but I guess not. Yes, indeed, the dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, The undead are corralled and led to the north. Yeah, I'm pretty sure my sound is bugging at the moment. There we go.
Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
Hey, we still got our hair, though. And here we are. This is us. This is Vana. I remember the first time seeing gameplay of this game, not knowing anything about it. I was like, why are they a skeleton man wearing a thong? This is us. Yes, we have gone basically full hollow. That is the dark sign on our left breast there. Quite grotesque. It's cool, but it's also grotesque. We're going to grab this, of course, the dungeon cell key, which an unnamed man up there dropped down on us. There's also messages you can read. Good luck. I believe that's a tutorial message. Yeah. There's like tutorial messages, but then there's also messages that players leave themselves. Overall, I'm going to probably be avoiding most of them, considering I played this game many a time, and I pretty much know what they have to say. We can kill this guy, but we're going to let him live. He's not doing anything to us. Yeah, so I'll run over the controls as well. It'll say that RB is a light attack. RT is a strong attack. Again, I'm playing on an Xbox One controller on the Steam version. And also, this is Dark Souls Remastered, so you're going to see a bit of a difference here. I won't go into the criticisms and complaints about Dark Souls Remastered, but there are a lot, including from myself. But there's nothing wrong with the version. It's just that it wasn't, you know, as significant as one might think. Okay, so here is our first bonfire. You've probably heard of these before. These act as sort of checkpoints, and when you rest at them, they also heal you. And reset the enemies around you. So that's important to note. If I hold B, I can sprint, and you can see that my stamina in the top left is draining, the green bar. We've also got a health bar, of course, and then the number in the top left is going to be our humanity, which won't come into play until later. We've also got black fire bombs as our items, since that's what we started with our gift, and we only have this. Let's see. I'm going to have to get used to Dark Souls 1 again. I think I've most recently played Dark Souls. Actually, I've most recently played this, but not for a while. So the game doesn't pause. You've probably heard that Dark Souls is quite hard. The game doesn't pause. When we go to equipment, you can see that we have just this straight sword hilt. It's not even a sword. It's just literally a hilt. We're going to take this, and we're going to unequip it and put it here. We've also got the black separation crystal, which is for online and or NPCs, and then we've got the dark sign, which basically makes you lose everything but resets you at the nearest bonfire. You never pretty much want to use this unless you absolutely have to, like if you get stuck in a wall or something. And that should be literally the only equipment that we have. Now, I won't spoil what comes next, but I will say that there is a reason that we started with the black fire bombs, and I will go ahead and say there's a chance that I could completely mess this up because I never usually go this route. I never usually start with the black fire bombs or try to do this. The reason I'm mentioning this is because I don't use black fire bombs all that much. I'm not used to throwing them. So I could mess this up. Just know that now. But anyways, let's go forward a bit and explore some of what we have in front of us. Oh, this is a nice little area. Okay. Oh, that is quite easy. Wow. All right. Well, we need to get away. Yeah, and if I die here, I'm not going to be surprised because I need to get used to the controls again. So we need to roll through his attacks like that. We've obviously got a big boy here. Yeah, that was good. You can see how much damage the black fire bombs are doing. This is for a purpose. Just want to avoid him as much as possible. Holding B to run and then tapping B whenever we want to dodge. Oh, that was a miss. Yeah, I'm not good with throwing these, as I've said, so keep that in mind. have to roll through these pots as well, and keep in mind that he's going to be attacking us. Oh, boy. There we go. One more should do the trick. We just need to avoid one more attack, I think. Or not. And he's dead. I can't believe I got that first try. I never do that. So we get the Demon's Great Hammer from killing him the first time around. And it would be kind of cool to show you guys the intended route, which I'll explain. You can, by the way, hear that there's still some shuffling around. That is not a glitch, just FYI. So, you're not supposed to beat him the first time around. You're not. But if you do, you get the Demon's Great Hammer. Now, if you start the game with the black fire bombs, it makes it trivial, as you guys have seen. I was kind of worried because, again, I'm not used to using that. Fortunately, we can't use this giant-ass weapon because we don't have enough strength for it. If we go to the stats here, you can see that the, where is it? Required parameters in sort of the middle bottom section. You can see that it has strength 46. So we would need 46 strength to be able to wield this strength weapon. And we're not going to be going strength this playthrough. So we're not going to use that. I just kind of wanted to show that that was something that you could do. So what it wants you to do is kind of run in and then rush through here. Go through this door. And then the door closes behind you. And you don't kill him. That's what the game wants you to do. And that's what literally people are going to do 90% of the time when they start the game the first time. However, if you start with black fire bombs, it makes it very easy. So, it says, get your shield, and you can see we got this douchebag up ahead. Woo! So, we got a plank shield there. And it's giving us a whole bunch of tutorial messages, which we won't really worry about. We're going to equip the plank shield, though. And now we have a shield. If we hold LB, we can block, and if we hold LT, we'll do sort of a parry action, okay? So, we want to hold block while we're running after this guy, and he's going to run away because he's a little punk-ass bitch. We're going to take this as well, which is the club. And this changes, I believe, if you start with a different class other than Depraved. This makes it harder for us because we're Depraved. And remember, this is a 100% playthrough, so we're trying to get every item as well. So yeah, this changes depending on the fact that we're Depraved. I believe you get like a dagger or something. I forget what the normal thing is. I start with Depraved pretty much every single time these days. We're going to bash this guy. Again, that's an RB attack. And then we can also do an RT to do a stronger... That was a jump attack. If we stand still and then do an RT. Oh, I guess the club is just a standard. Yeah, I remember the past couple of times that I've played this, I've been streaming the game. And I always make jokes about how, man, I really love the club because I always kind of wrote off the club as a silly weapon. But then I sort of realized that it's actually pretty dang good. In this and in Dark Souls 3, I believe. I could be wrong. I don't really stick with it. I only use the club as a sort of starting weapon. Okay, so we're going to go through here now, and we're going to go up the stairs, and we're going to immediately go, oh, shit! Because I saw a penny on the floor. We're going to grab it real quick, and then we're going to walk up the stairs, and then we're going to go, oh, shit! Because there's a... Yeah. If you've ever heard that this game is very hard, well, that's really the long and short of it. It's because there's traps around every corner, and the game does not hold your hand for the most part.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
Now, it is a Dark Souls rule to always say yes here.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
And I don't think we can talk to him anymore.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to, and thank you.
Although you'll see me talk to NPCs multiple times just to make sure we've cleared all their dialogue.
Now,
and so we are done. So Dark Souls, I won't tell you what to do and what not to do. I'll just kind of give you my opinions on certain things. You can kill him. Oh, that was him dying. Yeah, okay. I was like, wait, what? I forgot. So down goes Oscar, I believe his name is. I always get confused on this guy's name, and I'm always wondering if that's his actual name. Because you have to sort of read the items to get the ideas of what people's names are in certain things. Anyways, he just gave us an Estus flask, which you've probably heard of as well, even if you've never heard of this game, because Estus is what you use to heal, and it's a really interesting, awesome system, in my opinion. Now, we can rest here, and it'll sort of reset us, and it'll reset the enemies, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go explore the entirety of the Undead Asylum. We also have souls in the bottom right. That number is our souls. Let's see, and I have like a million things to talk about, but that's okay because we can get to them as we come to them. So we have this guy here. Remember, you can hold LB to block, and then you can sort of get behind him and do a RB to do a backstab, which is basically considered a critical attack. When he dies, we get 24 souls. You get souls for killing everything in the game, pretty much. And that is what you use for pretty much everything. Leveling up, buying and selling items, a lot of things. So here is a challenge. We've got a bunch of dudes coming around the corner. In fact, I'm so confident, I'm going to two-hand this club. Oh, and I'm going to get hit immediately. Yeah, you guys are going to have to get used to me. You guys are going to have to get used to me getting used to the game again, just for the first couple of episodes. That's pretty much always what I have to do because I'm always playing one game, moving on to another. You know the deal. So we can roll through these arrows. Oh, almost got hit straight up by it. So you can two-hand and one-hand most weapons. That's with the tap of the Y button. And that comes with different positives and negatives, right? So you can have a shield if you one-hand, but if you two-hand, you'll deal a lot more damage. I tend to go for two-hand these days just because I'm more confident with my gameplay, and I can sort of roll through and get hit. Oh my god. GV, relax, please. Relax. So we're going to press X to use an Estus, which heals us a bit. And I need to not... Okay. And you can sort of... It's very tricky, because when you first play the game, you just have to get used to how the game works. The controls are very confusing. And I think this is locked. It's locked. And I don't think there's anything that we could do about that now. We'll have to come back at a later date. So what normally happens here is you come to this right here, and this will be a fog gate. It'll be sort of a white fog door. You press A to go through, and you'll stand right here, and that Asylum demon will be down there looking at you. Now, at that point, you can drop down and press RB, or RT, I'm not sure, to do a plunging attack, and that's going to significantly reduce his health, plus now you have equipment, so it makes the fight 100 times easier. Plus, overall, he doesn't really have a lot of health. He looks intimidating, and for your first Dark Souls boss, it seems very challenging, but overall, the Asylum demon is not hard, you know, once you get used to it. And so that's what the game kind of wants you to do, is it wants you to go up there, do a plunging attack, reduce his health significantly, then use your new equipment to kill him. But we can do it first try because I've played this game many a time. And we get the Demon's Great Hammer. Now we're going to rest there, it's going to fully heal us, it's going to fully refresh our Estus flasks, and it's going to respawn all of the enemies around us. But that's okay because we're going to use the big Pilgrim Key to go through this big door here. Okay, now let's go back to one-handed just for now so that we can shield with the Plank Shield. The Plank Shield is ass. In fact, I can show you if we go into its equipment and if we take a look at it. How do we toggle status? Yeah. Wait, no, I want to look at the big item. Do we have to go into, like, literally this? I guess we do. So here, you can see over in the middle it says damage reduction percent, and it says physical 75%. We want a shield. If we're going to use a shield, we want one that has 100%, because that will block all physical damage. This one only blocks 75%, so even if we get hit while using the shield, we're still going to take damage. Let's see. And then over here, there's going to be a nest. Does it happen right off the bat? No. This nest is important. We'll return, and I'll talk about it in greater depth later on. I believe that's all the items here so far. I don't think there's any hidden items down here or anything. I've been through this 20 million times. Yeah, I don't think that's any... I don't think there's anything else. I think we've got everything for the most part. I just kind of want to double check. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to the top of here. Just triple check. We can always return as well.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Thank you very much, bird friend. I'm so glad he didn't literally rip me in shreds with his talons. That was nice of him. In Lordran, level up and kindle at bonfires. This is Firelink Shrine. This is probably one of my favorite musical tracks of Dark Souls ever. Immediately, we've got a dude over here, which we're going to talk to.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead?
Okay, it is a rule to always talk to NPCs until you completely exhaust their dialogue in Dark Souls.
Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit. What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all. What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it.
Oh, or will I? I will, actually, probably.
What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the Undead Church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the Undead Burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the Undead Burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
Me too, buddy. I'm right there with you.
Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions. What now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
Okay, we're looking for the double.
What?
And one more, I always triple check. Okay, so that's the Crestfallen Knight or Warrior. And we can actually attack. And remember, any NPCs that we see, so there's 3 humanity. Any NPCs that we see, we can attack. But what's probably going to happen is that they will kill you. Because they are pretty powerful. So this is Firelink Shrine. This sort of serves as like the hub. But it's, I'd never really considered it that. We've also got another NPC right over here, which we want to talk to. This is somebody else playing right now, this ghost right there. And this ghost as well.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
He gives us 1 copper coin.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you?
That would indeed please me, yes.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Join Covenant abandons former Covenant. So this is basically kind of like a guild. There's a lot of different ones in Dark Souls. We are going to join this one.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Okay, so now that we've joined the Covenant, we can do a whole bunch of different things. We're gonna learn his gesture first of all, and so he gives us the shrug gesture, and then we can talk with him further.
My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm. An undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Show your dedication, required souls 600. It's probably not good to do this, but I'm going to say yes.
Very well. I can surely tell you, of all people, undead clerics are given a mission to seek kindling. Kindling is the art of feeding bonfires with humanity. Through kindling, we shall one day be granted magnificent powers. Very well. Very well. I can show
Okay, and there we are. So we can buy items from him. He's got a bunch of, these are called miracles. This is basically kind of like if you're playing a paladin or anybody with the faith stat. This stuff needs faith, right? Yeah, I believe that's faith. I never ever use magic in Dark Souls and in most games. I always prefer to go just aggressive with weapons. So we can also buy talismans. A lot of people don't realize this. You need to equip a talisman, and then that lets you cast the miracles. So a lot of people buy these thinking they can immediately cast them. You need to actually use one of these talismans to do that.
Come again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
Okay, thank you very much. So if we go up this way, we can find what the crestfallen knight or warrior or whatever his name is was talking about. This is the lift that goes up to the Undead Parish, which has the first Bell of Awakening. So that's pretty much our current goal. All of this stuff is very, very ambiguous for new players. But our current goal is to pretty much find the 2 Bells of Awakening, and he says once those are rung, something will happen. So the first one is up here. Unfortunately, the lift is broken, so we will have to go up to the Undead Burg. Now, there's a lot of different paths that you can actually take. The game is pretty open-ended. We'll be going, as far as I can tell, the most intended route, which he was saying we'd have to go up to the Undead Burg, which is actually over that way. But there's some stuff that you want to do when you first get to Firelink Shrine to sort of get yourself stocked up with a lot of different things. So we can go over here, and I'm trying to find every single item, so bear with me. I don't remember exactly where all of them are, but they're easy to tell where they are because they have a very, they have a big glowing aura around them. And in this game, they made it much easier to see as well because they glow a little bit blue. So I think we can already get like a secret up here, kind of, which I'll show you guys. And then I want to do one other thing before we end this episode. Let's see. So you can see over there. Yeah, it's very easy to tell where the items are. Like I said, especially in Dark Souls Remastered, which is a good thing about it. The remaster does have some good things, but overall, it comes down to it was definitely not worth the $40 that we had to spend when it first came out. So whenever we get one of these souls, like a soul of the Lost Undead like we had right there, That basically is just a consumable soul that will add to our soul pool in the bottom right. And it's kind of a way to balance the game because the game is so challenging. It's kind of a way to, okay, well, you died, you lose all your souls, but you picked up a bunch of soul items, so now you can, you know, consume those in order to get some souls and then level up, because normally you wouldn't. I'm trying to see if we can get to a certain area that I want to get to right off the bat. But we might have to wait a bit. I thought we didn't have to wait, though. Am I wrong? Yeah, so there's the lift again, and I believe if we do drop down, we can, although I'm not going to try it because I forget. Yeah, I think if we go up here... Okay, here's, I believe, what I was talking about. No, wait, no, it's not. Wait, how do we get... Do we have to wait? I don't exactly remember, because dropping down here, where does that put us? I believe it'll just hurt us. We can't actually get in that nook and cranny right there. We're trying to get up there. There's an item, like, I believe, right where I'm looking. Let me just give it one more shot. I know there's a way to get up there. I'm just, I guess, forgetting at the moment. There's Petrus, or whatever his name is. I always forget his name. Do we have to go further over here to the right? Probably. Okay, so there's an item back here, some fire bombs. That's the normal variety of the black fire bombs that we started the game with. That goes up to our sort of first objective. Okay, that goes up to Petrus. Where in the world is the staircase that I'm missing? I know there's, like, something that we can climb. We can always do all of this later, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I just could have swore. Let's try this one. But we've already been up here, haven't we? Because over there was the item that we grabbed. What in the world? I'm considering just cutting because I swear to God, I'm not crazy. Yeah, you know what? Give me a second, folks, because I swear to God. Oh, I am. Yes, I am wrong. We do need to wait until later. I am sorry for wasting your time. Yeah, we need to wait until later. There might be a way to get up to what I'm talking about right now, but I don't exactly remember. Anyways, let's move on. So this is where you don't want to go, pretty much, at the start. Now, we don't have that many souls, so it's not that big of a deal, but there's items everywhere, as you guys can see. I'm going to do a suicide run. What's going to happen is there's going to be these skeletons forming around us, as you can see, and these skeletons are very, very, very tricky to deal with. They are going to jump at you and do all sorts of crazy attacks. We're going to grab that Caudacious round shield. And this is basically like a suicide run because these guys are very hard to get around. Oh, like that. Okay, we're going to grab as many things as we can, though. There's a winged spear, which is a new item, a new weapon. I believe there's like 4 or 5 things. This is what we really want. This Zweihander. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly in the German pronunciation. There's some binoculars, and I believe that's everything, and there might be one more. Ooh, and we're pretty much dead. If I get out of this... yeah. Okay, so now our souls are going to drop where we died. Our 1,688 souls are going to drop right where we died. I'm going to go back just one more time because I think there's one item that I missed. But it's okay because we're still hollow. That's why we look like a zombie. We're hollowed. And you want to do this before you use a humanity to become unhollowed or become normal. And I'll explain why in a second here. But let's just get an overview and see. We can also grab our souls if we feel ballsy. So there's an item there. What is... Did I miss one straight down the middle? I guess I did. Okay, but we want to go down to the left is where I wanted to go. Let's try to get our souls if we can, I guess. Okay, so we missed that item. And then if we head back to where we died... should I just forego the souls? Oh, I thought that was another item. I was like, wait, do we really miss 3? But no, it was just the glint of the sword. All right, let's try to get past these guys, but I don't think it's going to happen. We have to basically time our dodges. Oh, my gosh. Okay. If I can get back, I might just... Excuse me! And the enemies are really hard to... they have a lot of collision. It's hard to get around the collision of the enemies as well. All right, so if we go down here... Okay, we're not going to go down there just yet. I think we're basically dead. We can kind of... push these skeletons off if we're good at it. Oh god, we are so dead. Oh, it would be lovely to keep these souls. Oh, if I can. Oh, and there we go. Right off. Yeah, so I think we're going to keep the souls. We're going to let them basically hold on to them. Although I think I'm going to give it one more go because actually I do believe we have missed even one more item. And maybe we'll even be able to grab our souls. Now you might think, oh, but you fell off the edge. How would you be able to grab your souls? Well, I will show you. I will show you. Yeah, so we want to hug over to the left. Basically, even if you die like that, if you fall off a cliff, the game... Yeah, I think I left an item... Is there an item down here, or am I just high? I guess we already grabbed it. All right, well, now we're just going to die again. So let's try to get our souls. Even if you fall off a cliff like that, the game puts the souls sort of like, I don't know, 5 seconds or something. See, right here. See, it puts it on the edge so we can still grab it. Unfortunately, I think we're still going to die because getting trapped down here is awful. Unless... Oh boy, if I get out of this. Excuse me, sir. Oh boy, we might be able to get out of this. Yeah, the skeletons are always pretty tricky. I don't recommend coming down here if you're new to the game because you will get stuck on everything and you will just die. And it looks like we were actually able to not only get our souls back, but also all of the items down there. That is sort of a higher level game. Although, again, you can go pretty much anywhere, most anywhere, whenever you want. That is the openness of Dark Souls. So it's up to you. But yeah, most of the areas are sort of blocked by the level of skill that you have. So before we use our souls and level up, there's one more thing that I want to do. This is an extra long episode, but usually they're going to be around 30 minutes, I think. Let's talk to this lady. No response. She cannot speak. So we can talk to her again. No response. She cannot speak. She can also reinforce an Estus flask, which we will talk about a little bit later. But for now, we want to go down here. This is also going to be sort of a suicide run. There's certain things that we can do down here. And again, the game doesn't really want you to do this, but you can. You know, it's up to you. It's your journey. It's your adventure. So here in this room, if we step on this little thing, it's an elevator that'll take us downwards. And also, we need to set my gestures. Let's switch this over to wave. What else do we have? Let's do bow, and then we've got joy. What else do we have? We'll put shrug, and we just got a bunch of points. Okay, and so those, if you just tap them, you'll do the gesture, which I'll show you later. This lever will just bring down the elevator if it's not down, because obviously the game doesn't want you to get stuck. And then down here, there's some things that we want to grab. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Again, all of those souls we can consume to basically just act like further souls, which the primary way of getting souls is by killing enemies. So here's the new Londo Ruins. This is definitely not an area that you want to be at this stage of the game. We can also go up here, which we're going to actually hold off on. If we had the Master Key. So, the thing is, if you start with the Master Key, so if you start as the thief or start with the starting gift of a Master Key, you can open this door right here. And this is going to be a shortcut that is going to greatly reduce the rage of new players. So that's why it's recommended to start with the Master Key. However, we are not. So there's some things that we're going to get down here before we head back up and level up and also reverse our hollowing. Just to show you guys those mechanics. Hello, folks. That is the S-Stock. I believe that's a good weapon in this game. I don't really use the rapier-type weapons all too much. And we're going to hit this guy in this pot because I thought maybe he has an item. Yes. Transient Curse. Okay, cool. Okay, so before we run over there and do a suicide run, which is what we're going to do, although maybe we'll be able to get out just like with the skeletons, we want to make sure that we have every item. I think we have every item down here so far. We got to look for the pots, too. You want to... It's also kind of a rule that you want to basically break all the pots. We can kill all these guys. They'll give us a paltry sum of souls. Paltry sum of souls. But we're not. We're going to let them just live. We're going to come down here, and there's another NPC.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth... Well, I shouldn't cry. I'm Rickett of Vinheim. I was once an established smith. Look at me now. Can you believe it? What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. No intention of escape. It's safe here. Can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in this.
Okay, so we have a smith here. Now, there's different smiths in the game, and they can all do different things depending on what their specialties are. But again, we're going to exhaust this dialogue.
What is it? There's nothing to talk about. We're both cursed, undead. But what's there really to moan about?
Our general situation sucks, I mean.
There's nothing.
Okay, so Rickard doesn't really talk too much. So that's that.
There's nothing. We're both.
Now, we can purchase items from him. He's got, this is called magic. I thought there was another term for it. But, so we saw miracles, which is basically like the faith-based spells. This is the, intelligence-based spells, which again, I never use because I don't use magic. So you can buy some spells from him. He's also got a catalyst. And again, just like with the talismans for the miracles, you need a catalyst for the spells. So you would need to buy the sorcerer's catalyst or find a catalyst, and then you would be able to cast these. But you also need your intelligence to be high enough as well. So what else does he have? He can repair our equipment, which is very cheap in this game to repair. Only 3 souls. That's definitely worth it. He can reinforce, but we don't have any armor. He can reinforce weapons. But the way that this guy reinforces weapons, I believe, is just like if you have high intelligence, the intelligence will benefit the weapon. So I never use this guy for reinforcing or smithing because I never use, intelligence-based weapons. And then he can modify, which we don't have just yet.
Bye then. Keep your head on her. You really helped break the monotony.
Okay, and then, yeah, basically, I'll go into all of this in further detail later on. Most people probably know all of this anyways if you're watching this Let's Play, but for those of you that are blind to this game, I really like explaining things, and I think I do an okay job, and that's one of my favorite things about doing a non-blind Let's Play is, going over the different aspects of the game. So, the fire in this game looks lovely. In the original version, it doesn't look nearly as nice. We're going to do a suicide run now for a very, very, very strong item, which, again, the game doesn't really want you to have. Well, again, it's open-ended, but the game kind of doesn't expect you to have this early on, I wouldn't think. The reason this is a suicide run is because these ghosts are going to come out, and they are very, 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 very annoying. Oh gosh, have I already? No, I think it's this item. Okay, so it's a little tricky, but there's a little path here. Oh, geez. Okay. The Firekeeper's Soul, yes. Now, can we get out? That's the question. These ghosts have very long reach, and I'm just going to, I guess, suicide anyways. So we're going to leave our souls down there because we're going to reappear at our last bonfire, which is, of course, in Firelink Shrine here. So, yeah, unfortunately, we lost those souls because I keep spaz rolling to my death. But that's okay. I was expecting that anyways. Now, the thing is, now that we got that Firekeeper's Soul, and by the way, I want to show you that one of the things about Dark Souls is that it doesn't really get into the lore too much. You have to sort of figure out the lore for yourself. And one of the ways of doing that is going into your items and pressing X to get a big description. Firekeeper's Soul, soul of a long-lost firekeeper. Each firekeeper is a corporeal manifestation of her bonfire and a draw for the humanity which is offered to her. Her soul is gnawed by infinite humanity and can boost the power of precious Estus flasks. It can be used to gain humanity and restore HP at the cost of losing the firekeeper's soul to reinforce the Estus flasks. So by reading the item descriptions, you can get a sense of the lore in this game. So that's one of the things that I love about this game. Now, if we talk to her, we can reinforce the Estus flask with the Firekeeper's Soul, and boom, that is going to reinforce, and that is going to basically make it so that now, when we drink from our Estus, we are going to have a stronger effect. It's going to restore more health. So it's about time to end this episode, ladies and gents. There's some things that we want to do, though, before we do that. First thing is that we want to use... Oh, one of the things that they added with the Remastered edition is the ability to use all of these at once. In the first edition, you had to literally go one by one. You see how I have two of these, one of these? Well, say you have 10 of them. You'd literally have to use them over and over, but now you can use all of them at once. So now look in the bottom right. That's going to give us 400 souls. Okay, and they all have different properties. The bigger the soul, the more souls you get. So, large soul of a lost undead should give us more. That gave us 800. And then we have a soul of a nameless soldier, which is going to be even more. That was 800 by itself. So if we had two of those, it'd be 1600. And I believe that's all the souls that we have. And we're going to use one humanity, which in the top left, our humanity counter goes to 1 now. And so now we have more souls than we had when we died because of the items that we used. It would be nice if we didn't die because we'd have double it. And we also have a humanity. So we're going to go here, and we're going to reverse hollowing. So that is going to use up one of the humanities in the top left. Now it's gone. But it's going to make us look human. So now we look like this. We look like our actual character with a big, thick ass. And the reason you want to be human and not hollow is because now we can be invaded by other players, now we can invade other players, and now we can be invaded by NPCs, which drop specific loot. So we definitely want to be human if we're good with the game. If we're new to the game, we might want to be hollowed so that we're not in danger of getting invaded by other real players or NPCs and then losing our progress. But I played this game a lot, so you know I want to be human as much as possible. Let's see. So we can also kindle the bonfire. No humanity. We can't kindle right now, can we? I don't think that we can, but let's try it. So we're going to use another humanity. Actually, I'm going to place this on my hotbar here. I'm going to put it on the last slot. So now I can go down to it here and then use it by pressing X. That's going to give us another humanity in the top left. Kindle? Cannot kindle without the secret right. So you need something to kindle the bonfire, which basically, as you kindle a bonfire, you get more Estus flasks when you spawn there. So we would have like 15 instead of 10, for instance. We can look at covenants, which was added with the remastered version. You would have to go to the specific NPC in the past version. And then finally, we can level up. So, just a quick run through. Vitality is your health. Attunement is how many slots you have for miracles. We're not going to worry about this at all because we're not going to use that many miracles or spells or whatever. Endurance is very important. That's how much stamina you have. Strength is how much damage you do with strength-based weapons. Dexterity is how much you do with how much damage you do with dexterity-based weapons. So those are like the more finessed, kind of like, you know, katanas and scythes and things like that. Strength is more big hammers and swords and things like that. Resistance is by far the most useless thing, at least in the original version. I don't think they tooled with it at all, so this should still be pretty dang useless. It just increases your resistance and defense for a lot of different things. Intelligence is your miracles, if you want to go that route for magic. Faith is your intelligence is your spells. Faith is your miracles. That's sort of like your holy spells. And then that's that. So we're going to increase, I think, endurance just 2 points. And we're going to call that done. Leveling up uses souls. So once we do that, you can see it says above this, required souls 793. We only have 467 now, so we would need a little bit more souls to level up further. And the other thing, the reason that this is going to be a hard 100% to do is because the game is always saving. It's persistent. So if we mess up a character storyline, that's it. You know, we can't do anything else. So keep that in mind. I'm going to try my best to do everything, but we might get locked out of certain things. Okay, so keep that in mind. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for the first episode of Let's 100% Dark Souls Remastered. I thought it came out pretty good. Did you? Thank you so much for watching. I am beyond excited to play this and 100% it because this is, again, one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. I love this game to death, and I think it's one of the best games that has literally ever existed. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you watch the others. And I will see you there. Bye-bye. Oh, I got to do the gesture. I forgot. Got to begin and end every episode with the wave gesture. Bye-bye. Hey, it's me, GV. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you'd like to support me, please consider leaving a like and or becoming a patron over on Patreon. I also stream on Twitch if you'd like to catch me live and come say hello. The schedule is below in the description. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.